Created business here in Omaha, Nebraska. We started in 1975 just as a basement waterproofing business in Earling, Iowa. We really want to make sure that our customers are taken care of when we go there with their most important asset. And we do that over 10 locations across the United States.
Thrasher is really big on one of our values, one community.
One community is such a big value for us because it started day one with Greg and Nancy.
Back in 1975, it was just the two of them living out this value. If you fast forward to today, we have well over 600 employees in those 10 locations that we serve that get an opportunity to live this value out every single day.
Our communities trust us to fix their home, and so why not give back?
It's what inspires you to come to work here, and knowing that one community is a part of it, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't a part of who you are. There's a lot of organizations that need help, and we take pride in being the ones who can step up and help deliver in those areas.
We've had opportunities to work with Open Door Mission. We've worked with Abide, who help underprivileged families in North Omaha. We've worked with Sleep in Heavenly Peace to build beds and assist with building beds for kids that don't have a bed to sleep on themselves.
We just want to make sure that we give back to the world that we're a part of. No job is too small or too large. And so as long as we're just leading with our heart and taking care of our community, that's a really good feeling.
From 2 people to 600 plus people, you just think about the ripples of all the communities that we're in, and the impact that can have is pretty remarkable.
Knowing that we provide a small light, and maybe we make a difference in that single person's life that changes things around, to me, that's why being part of the community and delivering on community events is so important.
Let's take care of our customers, but let's also take care of those communities that we serve so we can continue to make this a great place for people to live, for people to raise families, and also continue to make the world a better place.
Without our communities, we wouldn't be here.
Oh, what time is it, people? Could you tell me what time it is? Did you hear? And so, listen, when you're live, you hear a lot of stuff. Isn't that true? Yeah. And so there's no, let's re-record that. So anyway, but my name is Candace, and I am here at 24 hours of Conversations on a Bench. And, I don't know what I was thinking when I agreed to this, but the good news is 70 other cities are doing it too. There's 70 cities with CEOs with Conversations on a Bench. And so I'm not out here alone in this crazy idea to bring awareness to homeless and poverty. In fact, the goal is just simple but powerful. I want to bring light and awareness to homelessness and poverty and some social challenges, and I want to talk about and highlight the wonderful things that are being done, remarkable efforts, and I want to talk with people who have lived experience and also invite you, people that are listening, to join us in the movement. And you can actually submit a question. You can come down and be part of the audience. We'll even let you take a seat on the bench if you'd like to. Or you can actually just sit at home in your comfort of your home and quiet place and be part of this awesome opportunity. We know that people won't tune in for the whole 24 hours, but we do know that through the course of 24 hours, people will be driving to appointments. They may be cooking in their kitchen. They may literally be actually looking for an opportunity to rest and relax and listen to some things that are inspiring instead of depressing, because that's a lot on the news. And so they'll be tuning in and out. And so we're super excited about this opportunity. Well, I'm so excited to have the Harveys with me. And so I love it. And because, it's voluntold, right, Daniel?
That's absolutely correct.
Dan is not really enjoying the limelight per se, but he's here on the bench, and we are so grateful that he is, because it shows how much he supports Amy, our Chief Community Relations Officer. And Amy, our story to start on the bench goes way back. So I'm going to take us back there. And because we actually were pregnant at the same time. The difference is I actually gave birth to a baby boy and went home, where my mom stayed with me for 30 days, did all the cooking, all the cleaning, and all the night feeding. literally almost had another child just to have that experience, Amy. What did you do? Yeah, you went back to Liddy House. And at that time, I can't remember. I was either, because the years run together, I was either case manager or Liddy House director, which was one of those. Okay, Liddy House director. And so you were in our family center and you literally joined our New Life Recovery program. What brought you to the Open Door mission? And did someone tell you about the open? Like, how did you know? Did you say, "Oh, light bulb moment! I'm going to go to the Open Door mission"?
And he said, "Call my church." So I did, and the lady that answered the phone was somebody that had walked us through when my mom was passing away. And she was like, "Oh, let me check for you." And then she called me back at Detox and said, "Open Door Mission, it's a Christ-based program."
Wow. And at that moment, did you say, "Look, I'm sick and tired of living this way. I'm at my breaking point. I'm at rock bottom"? What was the initial reason that you were like, "Okay, I'm going to do this"? Because a lot of people, it takes way more than having a baby in detox to say, "I'm sick and tired of living this way."
Sure, I was tired of living that way, obviously, but also I figured I had been getting high. I didn't know how far along I was, didn't even know I was pregnant. So I was like, need to start working to get this baby back. And that means got to stop doing what I'm doing and change that.
When you came into the New Life Recovery program and I should say, like, Liddy House is one of the very few places that you can come and be in a recovery program with a child.
Right.
And so that's just one disclaimer. But did you know that the day you entered this was going to be different? Because we have people that go through many treatment programs. What was different for you with the Liddy House?
I told God, like, look, if my baby's okay, like, I'm gonna stop doing what I'm doing. I need my baby to be okay when I have my baby. So, like, all I know is I need to not keep doing what I'm doing, and so everything needed to work towards that, and that's all it was. Like, stop now, do that.
Rational,
It was the only option
Mhm.
for me.
When and I'm sure it was never on your bucket list that you went through graduated, and Judy Collins and Dan Applegate,
Ugh.
they invested a lot in you.
Man, you did not pay them enough for what they did for me. I'll tell you that now.
And Dan has gone on to be with the Lord. Judy retired, still volunteers here at the
Yep.
Liddy House. But what did it mean to have those type of mentors in your life?
Game changer. You know, at work, if something wasn't going well, they would sit me down and tell me every time up front. And I was like, oh, so, and they would tell me my option was to change what I'm doing or I don't work here anymore. And I'm like, well, that can't be an option. So I guess I'll change what I'm doing.
Yeah. When you started back, you were on the homeless prevention team.
Yep,
Right.
temporary part-time front desk TOC.
Okay. And wow,
And
you
then-
really do remember.
And then temporary full-time, and then permanent part-time, and then permanent full-time.
And back then, what were you doing like every day? Like, what was your daily task?
Oh, checking people in, stocking the shopping floor, all that stuff, all the good stuff.
All the good stuff. You know, and then along came Daniel.
Yep.
How did you guys meet?
We met because my mom was actually on the program.
I'm going to turn your mic and don't let the wind knock it. They're hearing it, but they're not hearing it online. So tell me a little bit about your mom was on the program.
Yeah, she through work or
No, she was paroled here.
yeah, paroled here.
Wow.
And
And just so people are thinking, that's not uncommon.
Nope.
We get people court ordered here, paroled here, people walking around with ankle bracelets, all kinds of things.
Mhm.
and
so-
just coming down and visiting my mom, I met Amy, and then
And you said, "Ooh."
yeah, and there was a lot of not welcomed attention with that as well. So,
Yeah. It's not
Mm-hmm.
easy starting over, blending families,
Mhm.
because, I mean, you have children, you had children, and oh, by the way, we're going to be a married couple here.
Mhm.
But you did. I remember going to your wedding,
It was hot.
It was
I remember
really
you guys
hot.
were mad. Yeah.
I was Canadian. This is Canadian, and it was hot. I do
Mhm.
remember, but I remember it being beautiful. I remember the ceremony just because God was going. It was very much emphasized as being the center of your marriage, the center of your relationships, and it meant a lot of changes for your children who were growing.
Yeah, it was two different families, and we were the only sides on each of those families that are working towards God-centered things
Yeah.
and trying to raise the kids
Being
that
first
way.
of all
Yep.
believers,
Yeah.
and changing the whole value system,
Mhm.
like to be not worldly. We're now talking about what's honoring to God.
Mhm.
We're talking about things in our life that are honoring to Him, and so that's so different. But you guys got plugged into a church really early on. At I'm sorry,
Florence Christian Church.
yeah,
Mhm.
and Florence Christian Church, and you guys really develop new relationships and an extension to your family. That
Mhm.
church comes and volunteers here.
Mhm.
That is that I mean is a tremendous emphasis to success in people's lives when they get into a church and that becomes an extension of their family.
Yeah.
And so now, are you guys empty nesters yet?
No, we have 2 adult children at home right now. Close, so close.
So close. But at one time, how many children did you have in the home?
We had 6 kids going to 5 different schools at one time while we were both working full time.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Daniel makes a lot of sacrifices for you to be in full-time ministry.
Yeah.
I know my husband does as well. And they're the ones that pray for us. They're the ones that support us. They're our sounding boards. They let us vent to them. It's a judge-free zone. I mean, did I get it all?
Yeah, well, there's a lot.
A
Yeah.
lot.
Mhm.
But they really are our biggest cheerleader, our husbands, when we are in full-time ministry. And but Amy, why don't you tell, for people who maybe don't know, you are our chief community relations officer, and what does that entail? What does that look like? What do you oversee?
Sure. Pretty much everything that isn't program related. So volunteer department, the kitchen, the outreach centers, the warehouses, drivers, bailers, that kind of stuff.
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
And
a
just to
great
give you an
team.
idea, in the receiving and distribution, it's approximately $14 million worth of items that Amy's team is overseeing, so that we can literally receive it and give it away in
Mhm.
Jesus' name as quickly as
Amen.
possible. It's also being good steward of those donations. I think your warehouse has how many pallets?
750.
750 in the Gannan warehouse.
Mhm.
And then you have your seasonal toy warehouse with another,
Ooh, probably 300.
and your team also provides not only all of the materials for homeless prevention programs that serves about 26,000 households, but you also oversee hospitality,
Mhm.
where we serve and provide about 5,000 meals in all of our meal programs. So they need product
Yep.
for the consumer food pantry, as well as preparing the hot meals.
Yep.
And then just this other small program that you oversee, which is 14,000 volunteers, 16,000 volunteers
Yeah.
that are part of our extension of our staff that come here to our campus. Amy, over the years, we have had feast and famine.
Yep.
Right?
Mhm.
That's the best way of saying it. Like, we either have a lot or we have a
No.
little.
Yep.
And we have miracles happen every day.
Amen.
But over the last, years, and you just celebrated an anniversary. So how many years?
19.
19 years. And you look at that 19 years, is it the people, the purpose, the significance? What keeps coming back every day?
I feel called to be here, and I a fantastic team. We get to serve great people. Our coworkers are second to none. It's all of it.
And Daniel's here supporting you, and I always like to say voluntold.
Yep.
Because Daniel, you've been here at holiday seasons. You've been here when last minute things had to be picked up. You've been here a lot,
Yeah.
like too many to number. And I just want to say thank you
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
for praying for us, for supporting Amy, and for being all that extra that when we have needed it. But Amy, when you think about the 19 years, is there a person that just stands out that, hey, this person made a difference in my life, my relationship with them? Maybe a volunteer, maybe a guest, a student. Is there something that stands out?
I will always say Dan and Judy. Like just early on being very clear with me, and when
And they played a part in your life too. I don't want to neglect
Mhm.
that, because I know that they love Daniel and they
Mhm.
speak truth into him as well.
but keeping me accountable and showing me what it looks like to do different, and how your words have to match your actions, and how you do that to honor God, and that's what every day is about. So 4 years, like, who made a bad decision today? It was you. I'm like, oh, just working through those things in a loving environment. Like, I thought I was
I
great.
love those conversations.
Yeah, I thought I was great. I was not. And just plugging in more than, at the job.
Now, some people say that Amy is really tough on students.
Sometimes.
And what would you say?
I would say accountability made all the difference for me, and so I extend that to the students and coworkers and my staff. And it's a two-way street. I want them to hold me accountable as well.
We're trying to get to 50% of our team having lived experience on our campus. And as we do that, we take a risk because we're hiring people who are felons, people who have criminal history, people who don't have a great work experience or work ethic, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of our guests don't understand that you can't tell your boss off inappropriately with F-bombs and keep your job, that you do have to show up on time.
Yeah,
Every day. That you do have to complete your tasks and ask for more, to not just do nothing and get paid for it.
Right.
And Amy, you work with a lot of our students. What is the challenge?
Those are all challenges, and sometimes it's just them having the confidence in themselves that they can do a good job, or they are worth the effort. That's a lot of the challenge, and the rest would be just like Dan and Judy did for me. This isn't what we do when we love Jesus and we work at a place. Like, our actions have to match our words. We have to treat other people with care,
because we're not doing anybody a favor by not being honest with them and their and being honest about their job, like their job performance.
We call that silent approval. If we're not saying something, we're giving silent approval, and I don't want to do that. If I get hit by a bus today, I don't want to be talking to God about what I didn't do for people today.
Yeah. Amy, when you think about, I was just thinking about this recently, that I went back to school when I was pregnant with Chloe, so my third child. I can remember coming home from Excel classes and telling my husband, I'm done. I don't care about it anymore. I just want to be done. And you're going to school.
Yeah.
So here you are, Chief Community Relations Officer. You've already got your associates, so that it's not needed. You already have accomplished so much, and you guys have your own home. You have all the things that you have not only your wants, but your needs, but some of your wants even.
Oh, yeah.
And so, but you are going back to school. What does that look like?
Well, also on the other jobs that Daniel does, he carries the brunt of the school complaining that I do. But it's been really good, and it's always been on the bucket list. Like, I always wanted to get a degree, but when we had 6 kids at home, it wasn't possible. So
yes,
he does sacrifice so that I can do homework at night and get my assignments turned in.
Because there's not as many date nights because we got to get these papers written.
Yeah, or I can't do the dishes all the time or make the dinner. Work, and then you got to get home and do that, and I'm old, so I'm tired at night. Want to be in bed by a reasonable time, Yeah, it's a lot, but I feel privileged to have the opportunity.
Amy, what does it feel like? I've never asked you this. We haven't. By the way, this is really authentic conversations on the bench. There's no planned questions or anything like that. But I've never asked you, what does it feel like to come back? And I know the old lady house is torn down, so you're not walking the walls where you were at, or the old family center is gone. The kitchen's gone too. But what does it feel like now, today, in your position, having so much responsibility? Does it feel like, how did that happen? Because I was the homeless person experiencing homelessness with my children, unmarried, single, and now I'm this. How do you explain that to people?
That you're crazy and have given me a lot of opportunities. That I feel like God has has given me opportunities all the way across the board. It's crazy and have a really good team. I mean, I don't do all that stuff every day. I just work with a team of people that do. So do more coordinating than the actual things. But man, to have the opportunity to share with other people about what I've been through and help them work through whatever, is going on with them and serve people that are needing help, like it's everything I ever wanted that I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Dan, you get up and go to work every day.
I do.
So I mean, Amy's saying, "Oh, Dan's picking up a lot of the brunt, a lot of the
Mhm.
dinners and the housework and all that stuff." But you're not just sitting at home having a bubble bath and bonbons. You
No.
have a job,
I do.
and you came in tonight, and you still have to go to work in the morning.
Well, actually, I have tomorrow off, but
Oh, wow! I didn't know that. But you typically do go to work, and I think you're driving CDL, doing but doing in town, right?
yes, now,
Yeah, that's much better than on the road.
yeah. And it's much better for being at home and being able to make those dinners
Yeah.
instead of cooking a lot on the weekends and leaving her lots of leftovers to warm up.
Fresh is nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Just
much
getting
better.
a little spoiling
Mhm.
there.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Amy, we're going into our busy season.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Woohoo! Our busiest season for every area that I oversee. Not that
Yes.
it's any less for anybody else, but we're ramping up. All the little wheels are going and gears are grinding. So, getting ready to purchase stuff for turkey and fixins and getting the trailers in for turkeys and hams. Get those back and be able to give that stuff out to people, and then just get ready to move toys.
Tell me
So-
what about turkey and fixins, because we've, for a lot of people, they might not understand this, but we used to assemble
Yeah.
Thanksgiving boxes and just give them to people.
Mhm.
But when you're serving 100 different languages and, this bright light, I know that I got two guys over there. I think Brian is one of them. Is that Brian? Is that Johnny? Oh, hi guys. Well, let me tell you, Brian is awesome. He actually helped me. Well, he has a lot of patience because I'm not
Oh,
very
yeah.
good technology wise. So when I volunteer at the Timberlake, he helps me with my
Mhm.
AI interpreter.
He's great.
And that's great. And Johnny actually is extraordinaire at our men's center.
Mhm.
And I've had to literally see him in action, calming men down, greeting people that are waiting for an intake. Basically, you've heard that women can multitask. Johnny is the example of men can multitask now.
Absolutely.
So, anyhow, but let's go back to turkey and fixins,
'Kay.
because I think it's important to know that, you know what, literally, we used to assemble these boxes, give them out, but when you're serving 100 different languages and doing the choosing for people, it's not always what they want.
Mhm.
Let's be honest. Some people would rather have rice than potatoes.
Yeah.
Some people would rather have corn than beans and those type of things. So we went to a different, where it's consumer choice,
Yeah.
even during turkey and fixins, where
Yep.
they can choose between a turkey and ham. They can choose the items for their Thanksgiving dinner. Before we did the choosing, we actually did drumstick. Well, before drumstick on wheels, we had them drive through
Yep.
and we put it in their trunk.
Yep.
Then we went to drumstick on
Yep.
wheels, which people loved. We almost had a riot when we
Yeah.
stopped that, but
Yeah.
but the pandemic happened, and so you couldn't send people to people's homes delivering turkeys and fixins when there was all of this pandemic going on. So then we came out of the gate with something new, and
Yep.
that was drumstick. That was turkey and fixins, where people are already coming to us to pick up their monthly consumer food pantry,
Mhm.
and so they're going to literally choose their items.
Mhm.
But that means that we have to have the items way before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Because it starts November 1st.
November 1st.
And that is like in 21
I know.
days.
Yeah,
What
it's
in the
coming
world?
quick. I know.
And so when you were talking about, well, I'm ordering things, getting prices, and we're doing the same thing you are, just so you know.
Mhm.
Amy is going to Aldi's, Hy-Vee, US Foods, all those places, pricing out not just a can of beans, but actually Gaylord. That's those big pallets full of food. And we're trying to find the best price
Mhm.
because people designate money for Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
And so Amy is trying to stretch our dollars to be able to provide
Yep.
all of those meals. Even though we will serve meals here on Thanksgiving
Mhm.
Day, we want people to be in their own homes if they can be.
Absolutely.
but it means we need more volunteers.
More
And
volunteers.
we had our holiday reveal party tonight,
We did.
and we had wonderful appetizers and hors d'oeuvres, and some people could sign up tonight for those volunteer opportunities. But now it'll go live, I think, at midnight or
Yep.
8 o'clock in the morning. So all those volunteer opportunities will be open.
All of them. It's going to be great. Sign up.
Sign up. More
Yeah.
people sign up,
Sign up. If you don't see something you want, call me.
and you'll make it.
We'll figure it out.
And if you've never made omelets for our guests,
Oh.
it is so special.
Mhm.
They are so patient, and we don't have a clue what we're doing. But
Doesn't
let me
matter.
tell you, our guests love our omelet stations during the holidays. We don't do it any other time, Amy.
No.
Just during holiday season, where we do made to order omelets.
Yeah, for everybody here.
Yeah, and
great.
it's special.
Mhm.
It really is special. And so you can wear your festive Thanksgiving sweater or sweatshirt or Christmas sweater, your ugly sweater, and you can volunteer with your family, friends, and do all of that fun stuff. Now, also just one small program before we end the year is Toy and Joy.
No big deal.
No big deal.
Yeah.
It looks better than Wally World. Tell us about
Yeah,
it.
we'll set the warehouse up with a bunch of shelving that will just have all different toys on it. Parents that shop at the Timberlake Outreach Center will sign their children up to get new toys and come and shop for them, so they get to pick what they want for their kids and do whatever Santa does at their home for Christmas.
It's something about empowering parents to have those gifts for their
Such a
children.
big deal. It's often people are choosing: do I pay bills? Do I get food? Do I, buy gifts? So this will help them.
And we're not giving away PS5s.
No.
We're not giving away video games, those kind of things. We're talking about basic things, board games, balls, puzzles, and things that are interactive. And so we hope that you, if you're thinking about how to make a difference this holiday season, that you could organize your church, your school, your small group, your neighborhood. We have one of our staff that literally drives around on a tractor collecting toys at the holiday season.
Yes.
It's so fun.
great.
And he passes out apple cider too and all that stuff. But our staff are pretty amazing. I have to agree. We have an A team.
On the clock and off the clock.
Absolutely. We sure do. And so thank you guys for, Amy's already put in a long day, and Daniel, you too, I know. So thank you for coming down and being part of Conversations on a Bench, our first Conversations on a Bench. We're going to have many more conversations like this with people who had lived experience and now are on here at the Open Door Mission. I got to drink out of my fabulous You Are Part of What Is Right with the World. And I get to say that to you. You are part of what's right with the world. Douglas Shaw
Thank you.
Associates sent that to me to have. And I just feel really blessed that it's not raining on us. I know we got a lot of wind, but it's not raining on us. It's not snowing on us. It could be way colder.
Yeah,
You're in
it's
you
beautiful.
guys are in t-shirts and a shorts, and I'm warm. I can't believe it. And I brought my Carhartts, and well, I might have to break those out, but not yet. And so grateful. In fact, I'm going to pray for you right now because I know you got a lot on your plate for this holiday season. So let's do that.
Thank you.
Heavenly Father, I just lift up Amy to you and Daniel. I am so grateful for them in my life. And I thank you for their support. I thank you that they're part of our ministry here. Thank you for equipping Amy, Lord, to lead. And she's got an amazing team that does amazing things, and it's because of you. You equip us, and you, if we're obedient, you equip us, and we get to see miracles happen every day. And that's what we're so grateful for, because we get to see things that we have no explanation for happening, like today, receiving a lot of food from Tyson. And that's all from you, manna from heaven. And so thank you that we can turn around and feed the hungry. And Lord, I just pray this holiday season that we'll have all the holiday food and all the toys we need to bless everyone that comes through our door. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Amy, I got a little something for you and Daniel. I'm going to just slip over here and grab it and be right back to meet my next guest, which won't disappoint you. He's fabulous. And I just want to thank you guys for coming down. All right. Now I get to pop over with my next guest. Well, hi, Mr. Anderson. How are you? You're doing good? You brought props?
I did. I
Oh,
brought a couple of things.
you did. I love this. This is so fun. Well,
Yes.
I actually need to tell my producer that I need some water. And so you guys know Kristen. She's our public relations director. And Kristen, over in my Menards pail. Oh, no, here comes Joel. He's going. I've got some water that I want to trade off for. Dan, I did not think. It's right behind the basil. We have these wonderful flower boxes here on our campus, and we are growing some basil and some things like that. And she's grabbing one right now. And here she comes. Oh, our doggy's moving.
Yeah,
I
he
can
wants to
hardly
run
wait.
away.
I can hardly wait to hear about this dog. But here she comes. Oh, she's not going to come across. She does not want you to see her tonight. She just wants you to hear her voice on the podcast and on the radio and all that fun stuff. Thank you so, so much. And you know what? Joel is going to fill that up for me and bring it back. You know what? I've been talking since 2 o'clock.
That's amazing.
And this has been amazing experience. I'm learning a ton, Dan.
Yes.
And I just am shocked at the generosity of people and being
It's
willing to come
incredible.
and to do this. It's not scripted. So you don't have questions prearranged that I've given you. Just so you know, if you're tuning in via Facebook or YouTube, I didn't give the questions to Dan that we're going to talk about, and he didn't give me questions that he's going to ask me. So this is really authentic conversations on the bench. And I know in our audience, you can hear all the wind noise, but I'm so glad on YouTube and on Facebook you can't. And so I'm super grateful for Jason for making that happen. Well, Dan, you were one of the first men to join my team working with women and families.
Yes.
So people will probably say, that guy is nuts. So why did he sign up for that? So before we get to that, Dan, tell our audience, our listeners, just a little bit about who's Daniel Anderson. What led you to be here in full-time ministry?
Well, thank you for having me, Candace. It's just such an honor to be invited to join you here this evening. And I, from a young age, just had a desire to help people and to work with people, and especially work with kids and youth. And that dream started to kind of come up in middle school and high school, and I got the opportunity to be a leader in my youth group. And as I went into college, I decided to pursue a degree in education. And I went to Nebraska, down in Lincoln, and graduated with my degree in secondary social studies education. And
I didn't know that, by the way, social studies.
Yes, I'm a big nerd. I'm a big nerd.
That does not surprise me.
So, and when I graduated, I thought I would never come back to Omaha. I loved it down in Lincoln, and I just thought I wasn't being called to Omaha. And as I was applying for jobs and looking for opportunities, nothing came up. So I moved back to Omaha and started substitute teaching and pursuing a career in education. And it's kind of ironic. Back then, education, I was competing with hundreds of people for one job.
Wow.
And one opening, and
which is not today.
It's not today. But it was clear that God had a plan for me. And after doing that and waiting tables for a couple of years, I just felt like God was calling me to change. And so I applied to be a volunteer coordinator in the kitchen, since I had experience.
I totally forgot that.
Yes.
I forgot that whole thing.
Yeah. And so I just felt like, and got the job offer and just took a leap of faith. And
so you started in the volunteer department.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And then over the course of the next couple of years, I just got to continue to open doors, first as the WorkNet director, and then the job readiness director.
I remember.
And
then learning center director.
And just continue to just walk through doors as God opened them. And when COVID happened, I think it was because my office was in this building. I said, "Hey, can you work mid shifts?" And I said, "Sure." Had nothing else
remember.
going on, and I
Were
was
you
actually-
married then, Dan?
I wasn't.
Okay.
I wasn't. I had actually just started dating my now
Because it all
wife.
runs together,
Yes,
you know.
it's a blur, and so and so the best thing about what happened here is the camaraderie and the closeness of the staff. I was actually just talking with some people earlier this week, and one of my favorite memories was at 11 o'clock at night during shift change, just all of us coming around the table and just being able to talk
Yeah.
and have normal conversations about life.
Yeah.
And it was just such a relief. And it was an amazing
At a
thing to
time
be
when
here.
it was
Yes.
isolated and
It was amazing to it sounds odd to say that it was amazing, but it was amazing to see how God was still working here even while the rest of the world was in chaos. We did the very best that we could with the information that we had, and it was just another example of God showing us
yeah.
just his way and how things and just how he has a plan and a path.
Exactly, because looking back at that, who would have thought we had to shelter in place
Mhm.
with hundreds of people, no volunteers, Dan? And
No.
oh, by the way, our school district was out for the longest of any other school districts.
It was
The school district that should have been the first to go back in with the kids that
Mhm.
needed the most education opportunities was the last.
yeah.
And what did we have to do?
We started our own open door mission
School.
academy, virtual academy. So we had 3 classrooms, one for kindergarten through
Were
third
we crazy?
grade. What I think so.
Yeah.
It was 3 separate classrooms with about 60 kids total, ranging from kindergarten through
Grade
12th
12.
grade.
Yeah.
Making sure that they were online every morning, that they were attending their virtual classes, and
Yeah.
just being able to step into that gap that when you have single moms and families who are in crisis and they don't have that resource of time
Yes.
to give what they need to their children, because that's what, especially them, but all parents, that's their most valuable resource with their children is their time.
Yes.
And to be able to help them step into that gap so that they could get housing, gain employment, or go to classes, do a program, do what they need to do to leave here in a better place than when they came in. We recognize, hey, this is what we have to do.
Yeah.
And so we did it, and it was amazing to lead up that effort, and then to work with all of our staff who were filling in, and they were all
because everybody took a turn. Everybody took a turn. It was crazy. I brought in all my children evangelism fellowship stuff from years ago, Dan,
Yes.
and just started doing things.
Yes.
But when you look back and, for the last few years, you've been our assistant director of Lydia House, overseeing 300 beds for women and children and the programs there with Shelley. And about a year ago, I came to you and I said, hey, God is laying on my heart that we need to go a different direction. We need to literally have a children and youth director that focuses full time on meeting the needs of children and their parents, their families, not just at the Lydia House, but at PSH and for future. And to we do, oh, by the way, we do Bible Day Camp in the summer. We do activities when school's out. We have animal therapy. We have all these other things, but nobody really owning them. And so I remember talking to you in Phoenix and saying, do you think this is something that you'd even be interested in? And you're like, well, I'll pray about it.
Yeah.
And so what happened?
I honestly, it felt like it was always the thing that was just right around the corner, and then other
but never
things
happening.
But never happening, and it was just an amazing way of God just opening the doors at the right time, and here we are today, 3 weeks into
3 weeks,
3 weeks into this new role, and it's already I can already feel the time and the energy that I have been able to add in that otherwise was going to other really important roles here at the Lydia House.
Because you really were filling 2 seats and doing it part-time, but the children and youth really
Yes.
deserved, and their families
Mhm.
needed a full-time person.
Yeah.
Just for someone who's tuning in, they may not realize that families are one of the fastest growing populations of homeless in America, and
Yes.
Omaha's no different. And so when children come in, many times they, have the clothes on their back, and we have a case manager, but now we have a children and youth director
Mhm.
that's, helping that child become stable. So a lot of times that's talking about clothing, but also getting them to school. Dan, what does that look like?
So school is one of the is our first priority. As part of their intake, when they come in, they fill out a form that asks what school do they go to, what grade are they in, and asks additional questions. Do they need transportation? And that's oftentimes the number one need that our families have here, because we want them to be able to maintain their education at their school of origin, or the place where they had been attending school previously before coming to the Lydia House. And we have a fantastic partnership with Omaha Public Schools.
Yeah, you sure do.
They're the
And-
largest, or most of the children who come to live here attend OPS, but we've also worked closely with Council Bluffs, with Westside, with Millard, and with all the Bellevue and all the other Omaha area school districts, because one of the laws that that tells schools how to interact with children experiencing homelessness is that they have to provide transportation to that school that they have been going to, even if it's on the other side of town. And so we work closely with them to make sure that immediately within a day of being here, that the school's notified that there are kids here, that we need transportation set up, and usually within a week that transportation is set up. Sometimes we have to educate both parents and teachers, and for some of our school districts that aren't as familiar with everything, they don't have as many systems set up. They're not as familiar with what the different processes, but
Yes.
especially here in Omaha, we work closely with not only the central district office, but the schools themselves. We have a great relationship with our local elementary school, Sherman Elementary, where if parents have questions or if they need to go to school for a meeting, they know that they can the school can reach out to me as well, and we
He's falling.
we can get kids the resources and resources that they need.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, one of the biggest things that we can do to help parents engage in their child's education is to kind of help them be accountable for those things, like going to conferences. Oh, your children is having behavior issues. Have you talked with the school? Oh, you have it. Well, let's go. Let's call the principal and see what we can do. Or, hey, can I email this person for you so that your child can be seen by the school psychologist? Or
I know a lot of times, Dan, you're called into not just, I don't want to sound it like behaviors, but
yeah.
We have children who've experienced trauma before they've
Mhm.
even experienced homelessness. So I just want to be honest.
Yes.
And so I just want to say it's normal. We expect that we're going to have some behaviors when we're instituting structure
Of
and
course.
stability, and parents are becoming the parent in the home again,
Mhm.
and kids are pushing back a little bit. That doesn't surprise you.
It doesn't at all. What the way that I like to describe it is, we have the kids that come into the Lydia House. They have been forced to grow up faster than they should. But at the same time, with what we know about biologically and neurologically, what happens when a kid experiences trauma, it actually arrests their development.
Yes.
and slows it down. And so we have kids that are forced to be in have more responsibility than what they had the capacity to do. And so one of the things that I brought was my box of goodies and toys.
Oh, your fidget
My
busters.
fidget busters, because and it's just a big box of little fidgets, stuffed animals, things that just help our friends slow down and calm down when we have those moments of difficulty, when we have moments where they're just overwhelmed. In my household, we like to call it they get emotionally hijacked.
Yes.
And we know what happens in the brain when that
Yes.
the amygdala kicks in and the skipping the prefrontal cortex. But what we see a kid who's in crisis.
You know, Dan,
And
for many of our kids and even our mothers, you are really the first godly man that they've ever had an experience with. And I hear that from time to time, that you're the first man that doesn't raise his voice. You're the first man that doesn't lose his cool. I mean, not that you couldn't, because whoa. But I mean, how does that make you feel? Like, because a lot of kids don't have a male role model in their life that are coming in here. And a lot of our women have had multiple baby daddies, and they've all been abused and had a hand raised to them at one time or another. And then here comes Dan, who's just very calm and relaxed, and let's sit down and talk about it.
You know what? It's only by the grace of God.
Because there's times where you just want to, like,
it is. Well, and this wasn't who I used to be. And it's just through God's sanctifying work on my life that I can say now that it's like I recognized that one of the amazing things was I used to give other people control over my mind.
Yes.
And I started thinking that it's like, wait, I wouldn't give this person who's making me upset control over my hands or my feet, or I wouldn't let them push me and do things. So why am I letting them do that with my emotions? Yes. And I started thinking that, and then later on I realized that is not my natural thought. Like, my natural thought is I want justice for myself. I want to be right. I want to, and that's
that human nature.
The human nature, and it was God preparing me for this moment. He was preparing, and I look back at it now, and it's like I can glorify God in this way because He prepared me to do it.
Yeah.
And it's only by His grace and His good work in my life that I have control over my anger. I have control over my emotions. I still mess up, and I still learn more.
Yes.
Because it's because He's still doing a good work.
That's right.
And then the other thing that I just learned, when I teach my parenting class, one of my ground rules is we look at what does God say to us first about how we're supposed to live, and it's to love the Lord our God, and then to treat others as ourselves. And I think back to what it's like to be a child, and really treat that child the way that I would want to be treated back when I was a child.
Yes.
And then also today.
Yes.
Because nobody wants to get yelled at. Nobody wants to be talked down to. And if I don't want it, a child's not going to want it too.
No, for sure.
And so that's my foundation point of my parenting class, because
I'm sure parents are like, when you're in, parenting class, that we have, and it's like, well, nobody teaches us how to be a parent. And if you grow up in this toxic environment and this dysfunctional home, that's all you know. And so we are all about empowering people to live a different life. Now, tell me about your little doggy here.
The doggy is from our summer program.
Okay.
So each summer we have our Camp Plus Care.
Yes.
And so this summer, this was one of our art projects. This is one of our teacher examples, because all of our campers took their
art
and
home.
Dogs home. Yep.
Oh, wow.
So this is one of our teacher examples, but it was just one of my
fun.
favorite things, because it was so much fun to see them not only make it, but then for a couple of days to see them get dragged around the Lydia house, and I think a lot of them lost their feet by the end of it. But it was one of the things is we allow kids to be kids, and we get to meet them where they are, and we do art with them. We do outings with them. We go on field trips. We play games.
STEM
and
projects.
STEM projects. We
Music,
have yes.
therapy.
One of my favorite things was this summer. We've had a lot of groups that just don't like to sing, and this summer we had a group that just like to sing and dance, and to see them doing that to Christian music, and to songs that teach a lesson. It was so, and just to then hear them continue to sing that through when we take them to Boys and Girls Club, they're still singing those songs, and it's just it's a joy, and it's an example of the impact that we get to have on our friends' lives, even if it's just for a short period of time.
Hopefully their experience at the Lydia House will be one that they remember. I love partnering with Boys and Girls Club. We actually, if you are experiencing homelessness and a child that comes into our facility, we're going to give you a membership at Boys and Girls Club that can be for the whole year. It's important for me because I believe that when you leave here, you may not have a safe place to go to all the time. And so, Dan, that means that our kids, regardless of what's going on at home, after school can go to their nearest Boys and Girls Club. And so thank you. If you are a Kids to Camp sponsor, I think we have some pictures of Camp Plus Care. And I love that. Look at that little dog. That is fun. Friend, and she's going to join us. Dan, right around the corner is harvest season, and you guys are planning for Treat Street.
Yes.
You line the corridors of the Lydia House with carnival games.
Yes.
And volunteers come and they're dressed up.
Yep.
And we give away prizes.
Yes.
I think you decorate pumpkins.
Yep.
Bob for apples.
Yep. We have face painting and balloon animals and a cakewalk, and
oh my
it
goodness,
is so much fun. And we have our teen room has been overtaken by costumes for the next week.
People have been dropping off costumes
much
too.
to the chagrin of our older kids, but they still get to pick out some fun costumes, and
Awesome.
just being able to step into that gap for parents.
Now, someone knew that we were going to be talking about kids, and they had said, "Did we get enough candy yet?" I know that people have been sending us candy via Amazon, have been dropping candy off to you at the Lydia House, because when you have over 100 children
Yes.
between Lydia House and the permanent supportive housing that are going to participate, you need candy.
Yes. Yep.
And so you can drop off candy to Daniel at the Lydia House. You can order candy that can be delivered to us through Amazon. You also have a fabulous program that's the first Sunday of the month or third Sunday of the month for Kids Zone, Teen Scene.
Yep,
Baby Buddies.
The first and third Sunday or Saturday. Sorry, first and third Saturday of every month. We have what is about an hour and a half, 2-hour window where moms can drop off their babies, their toddlers, their school age kids, and they can just have that hour to 2 hours that they just need to.
Which is for many of our parents and families, Dan, they have no support system.
Yes. So it's just that opportunity to have a minute to breathe, have a minute to come to do some laundry, to clean the room, or just to take that quick little nap, whatever that need is. And it's just a blessing that our volunteers can provide for our friends.
I always like to say that if your grandparents and your children live far away, this is a way that you can get your child or baby fix, because you can rock our babies in our Baby Buddy program. Or if you're not an expert Candyland player, you could be, Dion.
You know what? It's really tricky to flip those cards sometimes, and I've gotten beat in Candyland way too many times. So
yeah, it's one of their favorites, and so we would love to have you join us. And one thing, we've not had a children and youth director focusing on children events, so you can watch this progress over the next few months, because you'll see more volunteer opportunities that'll be coming on our website, that you can actually join Dan's volunteer team. He would love to have you, and so we have a fabulous library, but we don't have a Reading Rainbow Club. And there's just a lot of things that Dan will be talking to other rescue missions and trying to find out what works there, because it may work here. But we would love to have that opportunity. And
Absolutely.
so before we go off, is there anything, Dan, that you wanted to ask me, or anything that you wanted to share with our audience this evening?
You know what? Just one thing that I wanted to share was one last story, if that's okay.
I love your stories.
So this right here is I just moved offices, and I have way too much stuff.
You did move offices?
I did.
I
I'm making
didn't
like
know that.
a kids hub. So that I'm like right in the middle of all the kids stuff, and we can, like, if I have to meet with a parent, we can't, and it just needs to be an adult to adult conversation.
Yeah.
Which sometimes happens. The kid can just go play in the kids zone, and we can have our conversation, but still be close enough so they're within sight and ear range. But we can. That's one of my big things. I like to have. We want to make sure we have adult conversations with adults. And so yeah. But as I was. I like to keep things, because you never know when.
I can hardly wait to hear about this duck, because I think I might have heard about the duck at leadership team meeting. Is it the duck? Okay.
It is the duck, because I love to keep the little things that our families give us, and I have quite a few of them. But this is a recent one that just it was a situation where a kid was having difficulty getting to school, and the transportation options for him were really difficult, because he had some anxiety with being around groups of people, and mom had been taking him to school, but mom lost her car, and so how are we going to get this kid to school? And it was,
these are real life challenges every day,
and it's like, how are we going to do this, because we we don't have the capacity, we don't have the resources to provide that transportation every single day, because that's a lot of time in a van and a bus and such. So what we were able to do though is get him connected with a fantastic resource through Region 10, or Region 6, behavioral health.
I was like, what is Region 10?
No,
That's a new
Region
one, Dan.
6.
Who's been on the
because
bench since 2?
I know.
Go ahead.
Well,
I'm just teasing
I
you.
know it gets to be long days. I'm in awe of what you're doing. So, but this, we were able to get him set up with resources, and while I wasn't able to connect with him every single day, or wasn't able to check in like even every single week, it was those occasional check-ins, finding out what he needed, just connecting with him and making sure that he was getting the resources that he needed.
Yeah.
And by the end of his time, he was going to school every single day on the van that the school had for him. And when he was leaving, he came up and he gave me this rubber ducky, and I was, oh, thank you. I like to have fidgets and toys, and thought it was just one of those. But his mom afterwards came up and said, this means that you're one of his people.
You're in the tribe now.
I'm one of the tribe, and so this is one that's not in the fidget drawer. It sits on my
Probably
desk,
not going to share it with anyone.
It doesn't get shared, but
No.
it's a reminder that I had of that, even the little drops in the bucket count.
Yeah.
And even though I wasn't necessarily the point person, it's providing the opportunities for growth for people, and giving God space to work and time to work.
Dan, thanks for believing in my vision and being part of that. I'm so excited about where our children and youth department's going to go. It's going to look really different in the next year. I'm super excited. I hope you've been inspired to know that your support is changing lives of not just men and women, but children here at the Open Door Missions, Lydia House, and Permanent Supportive Housing. And we know that God's word doesn't turn void.
No, it doesn't.
And we have godly men on our team that love our women and children. And Dan, you are just an excellent example of that. And just so you know, this man is genuine and sincere, and he even goes to camp on his vacation time with kids that are special needs, and just does amazing things. And I'm super excited about the new programs that will involve you, our supporters, because I know that you're going to want to make an impact with our kids too. And so be watching our Facebook in 2026 for all those new opportunities with our children. I get to thank Thrasher Foundation Repair. They're our sponsor. They've actually put together a $30,000 match. So if you go to opendoormission.org and make a gift, it'll be matched up to $30,000 during this 24 hours of conversations on a bench. Also, I get to share with you that this is a 1-minute AV technology break. That's what it says in my notes, because in Facebook and YouTube, if we go too long without taking a break and signing off, we'll lose our content. So nothing's wrong on your end and nothing's wrong on our end. Jason is actually going to make this happen. And when we come back on live, you're going to have a video from Thrasher, our sponsor, and some fabulous testimonies for graduation, because that allows me to go to the restroom. Yeah.